The best games of 2023. What are your picks, except Baldur's Gate, obviously? And if this list has Starfield on it, we're gonna have issues.
This year has been really good. There are too many games to fit on any list, if you ask me. The amount of, like, just games that are somewhat considered great by most people are too numerous. To the point, like, there is not enough time in the world to play all of them. So it has been a good year.
I am afraid. I am afraid from this, because the majority of this was really, really bad already. Oof.
Unfortunately, a lot of game development studios and places around game development have faced layoffs, as well as many other industries.
Good. Those talentless hacks need to be purged.
Throughout the world in 2023. So the game industry still has plenty to figure out, but judging by the...
Do you want a hot take? I don't think every person who just wished to be a game developer as a child because they wanted video games gets to be in the video game industry while having not a single shred of talent in his body. I think talentless hacks should not be just let in through the front door like they have been for now.
The quality of games we've played this year, the train keeps a-rolling, and there's hopefully a lot more to be seen. But the way we're doing it this year, in past years we've done kind of like bigger, flashier videos, but ultimately what we do here most of the time is put out a video every day and talk about games with you guys. So that's what we're doing here. Nothing crazy. But we changed up a little bit how it works this year. We came up with some more interesting categories, some of the standard ones, but we tried to think outside the box a little bit. Also, again, these are not just my choices, but the rest of the crew behind the scenes on the Game Ranks video team. We're going to have each category have a winner.
Okay, so we're definitely gonna judge them as per people for what they like.
And a runner-up. So we want to talk as many games as possible, so let's get started off with our first little award, or whatever you want to call it, our choice for best music in a 2023 game. And believe it or not, the Game Ranks choice was Hi-Fi Rush. From audio director Shuichi Kobori and the rest of their team, this game has a lot. From the actual score to the game, the license song.
Bruh. Video game music? Like, let's be real. Who cares? Who cares about video game music? No, most people don't pay enough attention. Let's be completely honest here.
Any means, especially for me personal. The runner-up is Final Fantasy XVI. The main composer, Masayoshi Soken, and the rest of the team have developed some incredible battle music here. Still, I remember playing Final Fantasy XVI and that first boss battle, and just
it's still boss music?
It is still seared into my... I think more awards shows should have this category. Where are my horror game fans at? Horror people. This is best horror game of 2023.
Okay.
A couple of things to pick from, but ultimately our winner, our choice is Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 goes full in on survival horror and has plenty of scares. It's got a lot of jump scares, of course, but then it also has really good mood and atmosphere and tension that just builds upon things. And the fact that you have all these different environments, like a real spooky woods, a saga, and the haunted noir New York twisted
real spooky woods. That just sounds funny for some reason.
World of Alan Wake. There are scares and scary vibes around every corner, and it absolutely works. The runner-up, believe it or not, is something out of left field because we have no rules here. It's Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is not a game from 2023, but some of the people on the crew here really enjoyed playing through some of the newer updates this year. It's a really good co-op ghost hunting game, so if you've never checked it out, there you go. Next up, we have a new category we came up with. It's called Best Customization. Just games that let you get into the settings and really tinker. Not necessarily like accessibility settings, but actual in-game customizations, like your character layout, stuff like that.
Okay, okay, that's pretty decent. That's a good category.
Winner for best customization is Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. The Game Ranks team has really just enjoyed the fact that, like, you build out your bot so highly specifically and how important it is to go out and win the really difficult battles. It just nails that sense of going to the garage and fine-tuning and making...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. A game where it looks like this. Strafe around target, dodge when they shoot your shots, strafe around target, dodge. I mean, I'm not gonna call this game hard, okay? I'm just not gonna call it hard. And even hardcore Armored Core fans are in unanimous agreement that this has been the easiest Armored Core game ever.
the coolest robot. It's what a lot of us wanted here behind the scenes, and we're happy that From Software delivered. Surprise, surprise, From Software crushed it. But the runner-up for best customization is Lies of P. Something that you might not think has like the deepest level of customization compared to a Souls game. You're not
it's cool customization, at least.
Building out completely different character builds like a magic build or anything like that, but just the amount of things you can dump into your items, your customizable arm, the way the weapon customization system works with like the hilt and the blade, it just felt really good. Even if it wasn't the most in-depth, we just really liked how the systems worked. Next up, we got something like I just like playing games for stories and adventure, and this is the best story category. Just a game where we will really whisk the way on the adventure, the story, what have you. And GameRanks' pick for that is Alan Wake 2. Again, we already mentioned Alan Wake 2, and again, we just really like Remedy games. We gave a lot of
it's fair if a game is good, but man, story?
Awards to Control when that released. But Alan Wake 2's story is really impressive with how it weaves the two characters' tales together and goes in and out of dimensions, while also managing to be weird and super Remedy and experiment with different types of mediums and how they tell the story. Just made it interesting to play through. And we were just looking for something memorable at the end of the day, and that absolutely worked for us. But no slouch to the runner-up, it's Spider-Man 2. Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 told another great...
Really? Spider-Man 2? Playing as a deaf girl because inclusivity? I don't know about that one, Chief. I mean, Spider-Man 2 story good enough, but playing as a deaf girl because inclusivity is a little bit honestly too much in my opinion.
Spider-Man story. It had a really good Kraven, a pretty badass Venom, lots of like surprise moments and good fan service moments for fans of the old comic books like myself, but also a story that still didn't lose sight of like what they did with the last Spider-Man game. It had emotion, it had characters with arcs and depth, and it was just interesting to see play out. Next up, we had another category we came up with. It's called the Not Enough Love Award. A lot of games this year have come out and have been absolutely great, but just haven't really gotten mentioned much. Just kind of fell out of the conversation. Like Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Hogwarts Legacy, Atomic...
No idea what that Wolong Hong is. Hogwarts Legacy was amazing. Everyone knows it. Shut up.
Heart, released in the beginning of the year and had some respectable elements, but ultimately they kind of fell out of the conversation. So for this category, we wanted to highlight stuff like that. So after a lot of...
Atomic Heart was very, very unrememberable. That is true. That is true. Except the twins. Yeah, I remember the twins alright. That's for sure, boy. Anyway.
Deliberation for us, the Not Enough Love Award actually goes to El Paso Elsewhere. This is a game I've talked a little bit here on the channel. We all really liked it behind the scenes. It's kind of like a Max Payne inspired game. Like it's almost got like very blocky PS1, PS2 graphics and a really good mood and atmosphere. But the gameplay is third person running and gunning and bullet time diving in slow motion and plays and feels a lot like the original Max Payne. Although this time around you're shooting like, you know, vampires and werewolves and weird creatures, and there's some really great music, some great art direction.
The jump is the jumps are definitely Max Payne in the early days, yeah.
And some scenery chewing noir dialogue with some great voice acting. It is an incredibly simple game, mind you. It is a smaller, more independent game, but it's awesome. It totally lived up to our expectations. Just an indie game really going after that Max Payne 1 feel. But the runner-up for the Not Enough Love Awards is actually Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. This is one that seemingly came and went, but everybody...
Wait. There's more mommy Bayonetta in the world? Oh my, that's a good world to be in, not gonna lie, boys.
Played it, specifically some of the gang here at GameRanks, just really enjoyed it. Just a different take.
I mean, as long as Bayonetta's hot, I mean, I'm gonna enjoy anything with her.
On Bayonetta, totally different gameplay style, but just something that they found enjoyable to play through. Next up is...
Admittedly, this does not look like it's gonna have that type of cutscenes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know exactly what I'm saying when it comes to Bayonetta. Well, I mean, you know... It's still probably hot.
Enjoyable to play through. Next up is an old-fashioned category, totally works. It's Best Multiplayer. And the winner is Fortnite. No, it's not Fortnite, I'm just kidding.
Good.
Our choice, don't look at me like that, don't make a face. No, our best pick for multiplayer this year is Diablo 4. For all its faults and its ups and downs, right now Diablo 4 is feeling pretty good, but regardless...
I have no idea how you're even supposed to play Diablo 4. in co-op, honestly. Well, you pick a necromancer and what happens? Well, everyone else is at the end of the dungeon while you're just, you know, clearing the first hallway, bruh. What do you mean?
Regardless of when you play it, playing through with a friend and just killing stuff and building up your characters is an undeniably good time. That's really the long and short of it, man. The runner-up...
I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know about that. How it started, how it's still going, the expansion drama and everything, that's pretty bad. Hey, I don't know. I would not put Diablo 4 anywhere.
Actually, with some tense arguing behind the scenes, the runner-up comes between Street Fighter 6 and Baldur's Gate 3, specifically because like the Baldur's Gate 3 co-op is some powerfully awesome stuff. Next up, another weird category we came up with. It's best vibes in a game. So just a game you play to chill out. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most challenging. It just has to have some interesting mechanics, some cool music, you know, just a little bit more of a relaxing play. Not like you're trying to get kill streaks in Call of Duty or max out your character in Dark Souls. No, just a game you're playing just to, like, you know, hang out before you go to bed. And the winner for that is Isnt. I believe that's how you say it. This is Dontnod's newest game, centered around climbing with an incredible art style and just a really good thing going here. It only...
I mean, kind of looks cool, honestly. I have no idea what this is supposed to be, but, well, it's something that you climb, obviously. But I have no idea if anything else. First time I hear about this, it looks kind of nice. Not gonna lie.
Just released. A lot of us who did get our hands on it, immediately it left a good impression on, so don't miss that. But also, the runner-up for this is something a little bit more upbeat, but still great vibes. It's Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. This is one, admittedly, we haven't talked about enough on the channel, but it released as a...
What is this, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 type of deal?
Spiritual successor to the Jet Set games, and mission accomplished there. Next up is Best Indie Game. Now, in terms of the studio size and like who's...
Oh boy, are you ready for a bunch of things that you've never heard of? Yeah, I am.
Publishing and stuff like that. I know there's like debate around that, but we don't make the rules.
My nomination for Best Indie Game is Against the Storm. I have a lot of hours in that game. It's really good and challenging.
I don't know, just games that have like an indie feel, a smaller team behind it, whatever, man. The winner is Cocoon. This is a really trippy, good puzzler game with kind of like world-shifting mechanics if you haven't heard about it. It's crushing on Steam. It's like overwhelmingly positive. It's published by Annapurna. It's got really good presentation aspects to it. It's something you should consider checking out. But the runner-up for Best Indie is Dredge. We really love Dredge. It's a game where you just...
Oh yeah, a lot of people have heard about this game. I also have heard about this game. Have never played it, nor do I have absolutely any plans of ever playing it. But at least, you know, at least this is something you probably have at least seen somewhere, right?
Drive around on a boat and you go out in the water and it's like fishing mini games and shit like that, and an inventory system that you have to manage. It's kind of like Resident Evil 4's classic inventory, and it's incredibly addictive, but also has an interesting story and through line and mysteries in the water. There's some challenge to it. It's a game that we didn't expect to really care too much about, but once you play it, you get hooked. Hooked? You see what I did there? Hooked like fishing. I'm so funny.
Come on.
No, I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to let...
Come on.
Next up, another category we were messing around with.
That was incredibly cringe, not gonna lie. Cringe out of 10.
We call this category Best Game That Isn't a Sequel. We just wanted something, we wanted to highlight and reward something new that just came out.
There's no way they actually, unironically, do not nominate Starfield somewhere here, right? It just, there's no world, right?
It is its own thing, and yeah, that's really it. So, the winner for this one is Lies of P. We love Lies of P. I mean, we're also so guilty here of just liking FromSoft style games and those Soulsborne style, you know, games. And Lies of P really nails the whole concept of a dark and gritty Bloodborne-esque Pinocchio. It's got great boss battles, like we talked about earlier, some cool character building, music, atmosphere, everything, really.
Well, it's just another Dark Souls game, so I guess it's fine. Man, how many times do you think they're gonna reskin Dark Souls? I mean, it's good the way that they reskin it, you know, but still, when are we gonna get to, you know, the re-release of Skyrim, the 275th edition this month? When it's gonna go to that level, I wonder.
It's totally what we wanted, and yeah. But the runner-up for best game that isn't a sequel is Cocoon, also running away with another award. So again, maybe consider putting that on your radar. Next up, we have a category called Best Remake or Remaster. We made a category because there's just so many remakes and remasters every year, so it made sense. So the winner
Resident Evil
this time around is the Resident Evil 4 remake. Not a big surprise, but
yep. Well, what else is new?
But it's great. They nailed it in a lot of ways. But I want to point out that our runner-up winner is the Dead Space remake, which I consider to be a little bit of a different thing. So it's
oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
You have the Resident Evil 4 remake, which kind of remixes things, puts new spin on things, but is faithful. And then you have the Dead Space remake, which kind of plays it safe. It only changes things up where it really, really makes sense in little ways and fine-tunes things, but ultimately still is great. So either way, we consider them both a win-win. And yeah, that's it. We still want more original games, but at least when they're remaking some games, they're not screwing them up. Next up, we have an award for Best Handheld, because believe it or not, a lot of handhelds released this year. New colorways for the analog, a lot of handheld.
The hell is a handheld? Are you just talking about something you play on a phone, on a Steam Deck, or whatever it's called? Dude, I have just a PC, okay? I already sit at the PC enough. I don't want to be one of those mouth breathers who also needs to, you know, play a game or be on Steam or whatever when he's not at home. That would be absolutely catastrophic, in my opinion.
You know, PC stuff. So our winner for Best Handheld is, I mean, you know we're biased. We really like the device. It's the Steam Deck. Valve's Steam Deck just released the OLED version, and it's a great device. It's updated in a lot of ways, some ways that you actually might not realize at first, but it's a little bit, like a little tiny bit more efficient. It's got a better battery life. The screen absolutely kicks ass. The menus are snappier. It's just a worthwhile upgrade. It's not a Steam Deck 2, but it's a really, really good revision.
Okay.
But believe it or not, the runner-up
makes sense.
It was tight, but
who cares about the runner-up?
Ultimately goes out to the Lenovo Legion Go. This is more recently released.
The hell and the what and the who? Bruv, you can't just make new names up and just put them in. That's illegal.
But Juan, behind the scenes, specifically really died on a sword for this one. He likes it more than the Asus ROG Ally. It's got
Asus what Otopia? What? Bro, we need to get rid of a lot of technology is evil. I tell ya. Oh my lord, this is sad.
Great battery, a good stand, the detachable controllers work really well. It's just an interesting device. Next up, we're talking most anticipated, the thing that we're looking forward to next year. So we all deliberated, we got together, and our pick ultimately for most anticipated is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We really just want to see where this one goes. Final Fantasy Remake was awesome, but we're excited to see them just take it to the next level in a lot of ways without spoiling anything. I don't know if I could spoil that yet. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, plus like if you're just talking about the old Final Fantasy VII, like the original, like they're getting to the point where they can do a lot more cool stuff. Anyway, I digress. The runner-up for most anticipated is Star Wars Outlaws. This is the open world Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this already. I'm actually excited. Minus the fact that it's Ubisoft, which means it's gonna be trash no matter what. Hey, what? Do you honestly think that Ubisoft's not gonna completely drop the ball on existence itself? Yeah, I'm not convinced at all about that. Ubisoft is trash, has been for years, there's nothing saving it. Same with Blizzard. You know, same with Bethesda. It is what it is. It's a dark, cold world that we live in.
Soft Star Wars game. Now, we've been burned by Ubisoft games before, but some of the people working on this one behind the scenes and what we've seen so far is shaping up to just be something cool, a little bit different.
The graphics there were atrocious. Let's watch again.
People working on this one behind the scenes and what
watch this one.
We've seen so far shaping up to just be something cool.
Man, that's atrocious. Man, that's bad. Man, that is exactly what I would expect from Ubisoft.
A little bit different. Something in Star Wars that isn't just centered around lightsabers. It's always nice and worth checking out. So we're really, really hoping that they nail it with this one. Last but certainly not least, and don't yell at me, don't get me.
Bro, the depth of choices here, it's like,
really hoping
wow.
that they nail it.
Bribe, don't bribe. Man,
with this one. Last but certainly not least, and don't yell at me, don't get mad at me, don't shoot the messenger, it's our Game of the Year award, our best game of 2023. The winner
It's not
is
Starfield good.
Baldur's Gate 3. Surprise, surprise. Honestly, like, we're recording this video kind of early, but I expect this to win a lot of awards.
Nice.
Specifically because, like, it's not like, you know, everybody's just conspiring to make it win. It's because a lot of the RPG stuff here is really impressive. The decision making, the branching story.
A lot or all of it?
Storylines, the character choices, all that stuff just really works. I was amazed. I said it in the before you buy back when it came out. The amount of things you can throw at this game to try and mess it up, and how everything is written and everything is considered, and it keeps throwing things back at you, is just really fun. I know the turn-based gameplay isn't for everybody. I see it in comments, but I'd still consider pushing through it, because even if you just like games like more BioWare, like a Mass Effect style game, there is so much of that type of stuff. So you should push through the turn-based stuff. Regardless, it's great. The co-op is great. It's lengthy. It is really everything you want from an RPG. I know that sounds like a lot, but we mean it here. And believe it or not, the runner-up for Best Game of 2023 is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Woo! It's just a bigger, better...
Oh man, I was afraid Starfield's gonna get in there. Oh man, that would have been sad.
Crazier Zelda game with so much more to do, so much.
So it's Zelda and Starfield, eh? And that's pretty much it. Well, anyway, that was Gamer Ranks. Man, I thought that this was gonna be a harder show. It kind of was, though. It kind of was. But anyway, that's pretty much it. This was Quizzer Said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.